Now tuned into the greatest.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever this message reaches you. Listen to another episode of 600 Podcast. I am your 5'9" host with sophisticated ignorance. Back of that ass up. Nah, I'm just kidding. Welcome back. And we back. What's up, everybody? Crowd goes wild, as always. I said it once, said it again. I'll say it one more time, my friends. I am the 5'9" host with sophisticated ignorance, Uncle Pooche. But hey, y'all already know that. You know, we got a guest today. But before we get to them, I got to introduce you to the most important woman in my life. Or she can introduce herself. Baby, step it to the mic.
Oh, what's going on, y'all? It is your aunt, the aunt, Amanda B.
Yep, that's me.
Back of the ass up. I'm just kidding. Let's do it over again. Now, thank you, baby. Thank you as always for being here, my co-host. I appreciate you. But I did say we have a guest. We do have a guest. This man here is a man. He is a myth. He is a legend. Some people call him a gun. I'll let him introduce himself. Go ahead, sir. Tell the people who you are.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy B Gunz out here with Green Rush Nation. And, he came over here. They stopped by the Green Rush Nation headquarters to do the podcast with Wafers. That's actually how we met.
Yep.
And when he asked me to come on the pod, I had to stop by and chop it up because why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not? B Gunz so smooth, y'all. He said that shit like it was a promo. What's good, y'all? It's B Gunz Nation coming through for the Green Rush.
He do this.
Nah, as y'all don't know, if y'all don't know, I don't know why y'all don't know, but if y'all don't know, B Gunz, like he said, he's with Green Rush Nation. Thank you so very much, B Gunz, for being here.
I appreciate you for having me.
Yes, man. Nah, we did meet a couple of months back. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Your uncle's no liar. Well, sometimes I am. Anyways, in this situation, I'm no liar. I've been stalking you. I told you that. I said, bro, I've been stalking you. You performed at damn.
Shout out to Kush Stop.
Shout out to Kush Stop. Shout out to that. If you guys know, you need to know. If you don't know, figure it out. All right.
Facts.
But yeah, I saw you performing at Kush Stop, and I was like, yo, that's that one Green Rush Nation dude. And I remember I tapped her and I said, hey, yo, you know that Green Rush Nation dude's a rapper? And Amanda looked at me and she said, Pooch, we live in LA. Obviously, he's a rapper.
You gotta have 5 jobs.
You gotta have 5 jobs to live in here.
It's true.
So when I thought about that and I saw, I was like, man, you rap, you do podcasts. And I was like, man, I gotta link up this dude, but link up with him on a mutual level. So I was so happy you let me come onto your Nation. Green Rush Nation podcast, bro. That was such a great experience. Absolutely. Can't wait for my episode to come out.
It's coming out very shortly.
Riggs,
very shortly.
You know who you are. Nah, I'm just kidding. Y'all super busy, man. So I anticipated that.
And the way it's actually set up like that is because when we started recording, I let the guys know, yo, why don't we bank up a couple episodes and then we roll it out so that we'll never miss a week. We'll always have an episode. So that's the consistent shit, so
like fucking minds. You see what I'm saying? I know a lot of people be like, man, y'all so consistent. Hey, baby, like B Gunz just said, this episode you seeing right now is recorded on a day. I ain't gonna say the day, because if I say the day, you might run down on me one day. So I'm gonna just say it's recorded on the day.
Yep.
And then we put it out the next week. You see how that works? But we already have an episode in the chamber. So as you see in this episode, there's already episodes being posted. And again, that's like-minded shit, bro. That's why I wanted you here, because without you even saying that, I already knew what type of time you want.
Of course.
And before I jump to this even further, because it's a podcast and I need this type of shit, please remember to like, subscribe, share, all that fun shit. And again, as I always like to remind y'all, we record here at the Pettycat Studios. Pettycat Studios, baby. Shout outs to Alex, shout outs to Mark. These guys are fucking phenomenal, yo. If you guys don't believe me, go watch my old shit and you're gonna be like, damn, Pooch wasn't shit till you started fucking recording at Pettycat Studios. And guess what? I'm gonna say, duh, I already knew that, bitch. Hey, come to Pettycat Studios. You want to look like a pretty bitch like me? Get up on that. Or, don't. Whatever, man. Yeah. Sorry, I had to get that out there, guys.
Of course. That being said, though, mad respect, because I know something like this is a lot of work and it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
And you do need a team. You need a village, So shout out to the team.
Bro, 110%. You are so fucking good at this because you helping me do this thing called Segway.
There you go.
All right. So as Mr. B Gunz, can I call you Mr. B Gunz?
Whatever you want to call me.
Okay, cool, Mr. B Gunz. As Mr. B Gunz just pointed out, it takes a team. And we'll get into that a little bit later, as that's the topic of the subject of the episode that we will be talking about today. But outside of that, hey man, we ain't got no TV show, me and the auntie, to watch.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We're about to. I
So,
need to take a break.
Y'all watching this, y'all our team, right? Y'all like us, baby. You fuck with us, right? You fuck with us, right? Nah, man, but not for real. If y'all could comment in the comment section and tell us what we should watch for our next show. We just finished Sopranos, and nice to say that we had to take a little bit of sabbatical and a break because there was a lot of killing, stealing, willing, and dealing. And we live in Southern California, so we don't need that. We already see that every single day.
You're just getting into The Sopranos?
Well,
No, I just finished it.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
okay.
finished it.
I didn't watch it. Like my family watched it when I was younger, but I didn't watch it.
Classic.
And I feel like on TikTok, I kept getting like little clips, and so I finally saw the clip of Carmela like going off on him, and I was like, nah, I just gotta watch the show. I need to know why she was tired of him.
For sure.
You're from the East Coast though, right?
Born and raised.
So The Sopranos was like in your blood then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, you're just getting
Yeah,
into it.
you know, it's like he said that shit. You know,
I was
it's like
like,
he seemed
my
disgusting.
bad.
Oh, you just getting into it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Slacking.
just want to let you know. Okay. Nah, so with us, bro, we really love the show. And it was very cool to see like a show that they call like the greatest show of all time.
Yeah.
But man, it was like really rough, kind of reliving certain parts that it was like
Shit was real, bro.
yeah,
That was a real story.
It was
for
real as
sure.
fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
From Tony to Christopher to Melfi to Carmela to Paulie to Meadow. Yeah, it was it. I'm not gonna lie. She looked at me one day and she said, "How do you watch this show and you don't get uncomfortable?" And I said, "It's easy." She said, "What?" I said, "It's a bunch of ghetto white folks."
There you go.
Didn't know there was that many ghetto white folks in the world and then when they started showing the black people do stuff, I was like, "Okay, now this is getting uncomfortable for me."
I
I
love
said, "I don't know if I like this now."
Yep.
Nah, but in The Sopranos, kind of like you mentioned earlier, obviously it's the mafia, so there's a team. Now, I would say they teamed a little whack because you get whacked if you do something out of whack for that team.
Of course.
But there's also a little whack because like there's not that much loyalty. But one of the things I did appreciate about The Sopranos was like the idea of a bonding through like just lineage and tradition and like you said, teamwork, which is I feel like that is like the backbone of building a dynasty. I told you I wanted to bring you on, not just because I thought you were a cool ass guy, but because you, like myself, you're an out-of-towner. Yep. Like I said, you're from the East Coast. I'm from Memphis. Shout out to the gang on the shirt.
Yes, sir.
My lady here, she's from Sacramento.
Okay.
So she's not an out-of-towner, but she ain't an inner-towner, if that's even a word.
Not from LA.
Yeah, she's not from LA.
Okay.
So I was like, man, I need to get 3 out-of-town people on a podcast, talk about what it's like making it in LA. Y'all notice I put them big ass air quotes right there, right? Because to me, making it in LA it's an oxymoron, bro. It's not really a real thing. Only because like what you describe as making it to somebody, to that person may not even be making it.
Yeah.
What I find making it in LA, you could be like, damn, that motherfucker's pathetic.
You want to know my definition of making it in LA?
Yes.
If you never give up.
There you go.
Because it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're just doing it, you're not making money. If you never give up, you can't lose. Because you never know what can happen tomorrow. But the only way to lose is to stop doing it.
Facts.
Boom.
Y'all heard it. All right.
So if you're doing it, you made it. You know?
Yeah.
Especially coming from out of town, like, fuck, bro. What were you doing? What were you doing at home?
So that's funny.
That part.
What was I doing at home? So she and I met in Sacramento, and we didn't date per se, like official dating in Sacramento because of what you just asked. Like I wasn't doing anything in Sacramento.
Okay.
I was doing things, but I wasn't doing anything towards the goals or what I wanted. And it's like super awkward, which by the way, thank you for asking the question.
Of course.
But it was super awkward because I realized in Sacramento, I felt like I was my definition of what I thought a bum was. And when I tell people this, they're like, so what, I mean, you like sleep on the couch and, you know, eating up all the kids' Lunchables and shit like that. No, I actually had a thriving job and had a career in Sacramento. I just didn't want to do what I was doing.
Facts.
So therefore, to your point, I didn't feel like I was making it in life because I wasn't doing anything that I felt like fulfilled me.
For sure.
To my point, making it in LA is doing what you want to do for a living, uncompromised and unreliant on another person's backing.
Yep.
That's a very layered statement because at a certain point you got to compromise some shit. At a certain point you got to have some people's backing, right?
Yeah.
But if you can still maintain you and who you are, I feel like that's making it in LA.
100%.
I have a day job. You have a day job. She has a day job. We all have to compromise somewhere with our time, but we still get to, hey, bro, we're sitting here smoking weed on the podcast right now. If you don't ask me, if you ask me, if that ain't making it, I don't know what making it is.
100%.
50, 60, 100 people could watch this podcast. I did an episode with a guy that I've been admiring from afar that's making it.
Yeah.
Working with my wife every Monday, making media, that's making it. So I'm right there with you, bro. Like, long as we don't give up, we're always making it.
For sure.
It's just making sure you don't allow those outside noises to fuck with your progress.
100%.
But before I go any further, Auntie, I know you were probably going to say something. What's your definition of making it in LA?
I mean, I definitely will piggyback and rely on just not giving up, because I moved out here. I've been here for almost 6 years, and I moved here with a person that I'm no longer even cool with, and they didn't make it in 6 months, and they were like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
And so I feel like me being like, we just getting started, and always thinking of that. It's not like I'm like, ha, you wanted to go home. But I am like, I think of her giving up in 6 months. So like constantly not giving up, pivoting. Like you might have a job, and you might, when you get a job and you're like, okay, I'm going to work this many hours, and I'm going to be able to do this, I'm going to do that. And maybe they cut your hours. You have to pivot.
Of course.
And not let it show as well, like on your face. Which is hard for me, because you can see everything on my face, but you have to check yourself, like we talked about last week. Like, you just have to get your pride together, get it in order. Remind yourself you won't be here if you continue to work, because you will still be in the same shit if you don't pick it up.
Yes, absolutely. So. That goes right back to my point, which is not allowing the outside noise to affect you.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that's why I brought it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think, and this is something I'll ask you, B Gunz. I think one of the biggest ways to fuck your momentum up in LA is to pay too much attention to the social media. Now pay attention to social media, because social media is important, right? But when you start paying attention to the vanity points in social media, the likes, the comments, the shares, I joke about, hey man, like my post, comment my shit. Yeah. But I honestly am more focused on putting out quality content versus saying off the cuff shit, hoping people will circulate this and go viral.
Of course.
Now, I say that knowing that I'm going to have a longer time making it than other people who get butt booty naked and flash a booty hole on the internet. Now, if that's what you do, you flash a booty hole, shout out to you, Adam22. But I choose not to do that. So it makes my making it a little bit slower. But I do have my moments where I do get a little bit touched by lack of views or lack of comments, and I do have those moments. But then I have to remind myself, I'm not doing it for that. I'm not doing it for that. I enjoy what I do for a living in LA. I enjoy being able to do this for a living, and I enjoy the idea of this is going to take me somewhere else. But B Gunz, can you tell us, how do you deal with drowning out the noise of the criticism, I guess I should say?
For sure. I feel like the way I look at it is you do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do, right?
Facts.
So when I came out here, it wasn't all like sunshine and roses, but I grinded it out. I ate shit for a little while. I was an Uber driver. And I was out there 40, 60, 70 hours a week,
Same.
And on top of it, I would go home and I was doing it all by myself at the time, doing the podcast, doing the music, like literally everything. I was my editor. No one did it but me. Yeah. So it was a little tough, to get everything out. It still happened, but it wasn't like a consistent basis. So obviously, if I would have gave up right then and there, that would have been it. I could have went home, went back to New York and said, fuck it.
Yeah.
But kept my head down, kept grinding. Then I ran into these guys at Green Rush. Mm-hmm. And that was it. They basically were like, oh, we want to make your dreams come true. And I was like, holy shit. And it was just based on like, oh, we're going to do like a podcast and we're going to have this guy on, this guy on, this guy on. And I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like to have all these brands and like owners, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like I heard about them in New York. So like, that's a trip, Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it, So it was preparation meets opportunity. And that was it. I was ready to go because I was doing it.
Because you were doing it. Yes.
But coming here, that wasn't the plan. My plan was just go with the music and the podcasting with my own podcast, and keep it running. But like you said, you got to be flexible. If an opportunity comes, take it,
To take it.
And since I was always a pothead and a stoner, it kind of just
it just worked out.
It aligned. Yeah, it aligned.
Nah, I honestly, man, it's so crazy. Me and you are from two different sides of the block. We both ended up in the same city, but honestly, all three of us had the same idea. To piggyback on the question you asked earlier, like, what were you doing before this? I was just like you. I was living in Sacramento. I had a day job. I was podding on the side, and then I was plotting on the side. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't even realize I was plotting while I was podding, but the devil ain't a liar, and sometimes he is.
Yeah.
I got fired. Actually, let me tell you guys a little funny story. I haven't told anybody in a very long time. She knows the story, but I actually got fired over my podcast.
Okay.
This podcast actually made me lose my job. The career I had when I had one foot in the podding world and one foot in the corporate world. And I was getting told by all these people like, man, your podcast is funny, or, your stand-up is funny. And I was like, yeah, but I can't lose this paycheck.
Of course.
I got to keep this
stability.
Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? And I guess one day God said, no. I'm going to make a choice for you. And I'm not going to get too much in detail because I know some of them people still watch this, but I ended up getting fired from my day job because I had a podcast, and they basically was just like that goes against the guidelines of the corporation talk, whatever they can do to fire you.
Not our values.
Yes, some shit like that. Whatever, right? So now I'm like, damn, I don't have a job. And I remember thinking to myself, well, this is the start of my movie.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Like, if there was like a movie intro, like it would have began with me getting fired and me walking out and being like, well, now I can fully pursue this.
Yeah.
Just like you, I worked by myself. I potted by myself. She and I actually met on the dating app, and she will tell you one of the things that made her swipe. I don't know if it's left or right. Who cares? Because I won. But one of the things that made her agree to my profile was she saw I had a picture of me doing stand-up comedy, and I had a picture of me like basically like standing, like talking behind a mic. And this is before podcasting became this red pill, blue pill thing. Yeah. So we was a little still lucky at that time, right? Yeah. And at a certain point, I started podding with other people. Unless I met her. And then I said, you know what? I want to move to LA. And I want to make this thing a real thing. And just like you, I didn't give up.
Yeah.
But I think that's so funny because I've been doing this for 6 years now. And that plot has been lost upon the people who didn't know me 6 years ago.
Gotcha.
When I was just Keith Bernard Johnson Jr. Working in an office job.
For sure.
No Uncle Poochie, no 5'9" host. And so now 6 years later, people see this podcast, see me working with the likes of yourself and whatever. And they're like, oh, you've been doing this. I'm like, no, it was not like this.
Yep.
It took me a very long time. The driving Uber thing did that. Driving Lyft did that. Learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about the hustle. So what makes it, and maybe you guys both can tell me if I'm wrong about this, but for me, it makes it hard for me to deal with not just the younger generation, but any type of folks who complain about the hustle. I have a hard time. I can't get along with them, bro.
Anybody that tells you they can't find a job, like, I'm sorry, shut the fuck up.
Oh, no, brother. There's a job everywhere,
out there, right?
Yeah. There's a job everywhere, dog. Trust me.
You can't find the job that you want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At that time.
Say, I can't find a job. Hold on, I got a guy who's hiring. What kind of job is it? Shut the fuck up. You just said you needed a job, bro.
Do you hear me? Listen, so I will say this. My very first, and we'll talk about this for you guys' experience as well, but my very first experience doing a cannabis event, I was driving up with one of my workers at the time. Shout out to that person. You're no longer one of my workers, but shout out to you. And I said to him, I said, listen, we are going to, because if you've been to these cannabis events, you know that, like, bro, a lot of these companies, they shell out. Like, they put out a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to, I hate to say it like that, but you need to be on your best behavior and be able to do your best job, because there's a lot of money that's getting shelled out to this, right? So I look at my worker and I say, listen, they're spending a lot of money on us. Comp room, comp dinner, basic comp product. You need to do everything they ask you to do and more. As long as they ask you to stick it in your ass or in your mouth.
Yeah.
Get your ass to work.
Yep.
And that's again, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong about that, but making it in LA is that's my first thing that I like to tell people. If you want to move to LA and you don't want to be, if you want to be comfortable, one, don't move here. All right. But if you don't want to be, little dogged or sunned or feel like you kind of eating shit, dog, don't move here, bro. Even if the people aren't intentionally doing it to you, it's literally a process. Yeah. I hate to say it like this, but I said it before. Maybe y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But the cannabis industry is kind of like the mob. It's kind of like a gang. You get jumped in. Now, if you can't take it, you gotta leave. Yeah. But I would say, as a person who does stand-up comedy, does the cannabis industry, does the podcasting, all this shit's the same way. Yeah. It's tough. What would you say? And I'll ask you next, Auntie. But what would you say was like your most like, okay, I'm here, I'm in LA moment? Like, okay, now I know I'm like really grinding. For sure. Well, so here's the trip, bro. My shit started way back in the day. Like, so podcasting is like a newer idea for me. Okay. Music was the original thing. Okay. I started that back in high school and I was in a group. I was in a rap group. Okay. We went around, we played a bunch of shows, but then we had a bad falling out. And shout out to the pandemic, because once the pandemic rolled around, I actually owned a business at the time. It was a dog sitting, dog walking, dog waste removal business. And they forced me to close down. So I had to sit at home for a little while. Yeah. And that really made me sit and think like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. Not that I didn't enjoy what I was doing then. Like, it was great, lucrative business. Probably could have made a great living. Yeah. But was it really what I wanted to be doing? And that's like what that gave me time to sit back and be like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. Because I started listening to beats again and writing again. And I'm like, damn, like, this is what I love, Yeah. And so during that time, I also came up with the idea for making a podcast, because I was watching all these podcasts and I'm like, damn, I love them and I can talk to anybody. So like, I feel like I'd be good at this shit. Yeah. I already had mics since I made music, and I had roommates and we were all bored as fuck. So I'm like, yo, let's do a podcast. Yep. So they were down. I came up with the idea, got the merch, the logo. Like, before I even had an episode, I made sure there was a vision for it. Yes. So did that, did the first 7 episodes audio only. Okay. And then that's when I realized like, okay, this is fun, like this is something that I'm want to take more serious. And that's when I decided to come out to LA. Okay. So I came out to LA for 2 months, and since flights were cheap as fuck during the pandemic, it was crazy. Yeah. So I came out here and it didn't rain. Fucking, the weather was beautiful. I was getting weed delivered to my door. I'm like, wow, this is great. So that's when I kind of decided like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take a risk. Once I get home, I'm gonna sell my business. And well, we're riding a little. As I was here, I was staying with my cousin, and she was like, hey, like, we have an extra room. Like, I know you were talking about you want to go out here one day. If you're serious, like, till you get on your feet, you can come here. Yeah. And I told her, I'm like, don't fucking tell me that, because like, I'm gonna take you up on it, like, and sure as shit, she was serious. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went home, sold my shit, and got shit in order, and that was it. Like, 4 months later, I drove across the country. I had a U-Haul. I had a 2000 Chevy Cavalier coupe. So it was a trip. I told the U-Haul was bigger than the car. Yeah. But so I got out here, and right away I started working. I started making music instantly. I got in the studio. It was one song it was supposed to be, and then it turned into a 5-song EP. And I'm working in like this beautiful fucking studio up in Sherman Oaks off Mulholland Drive, like literally the view of the mountains and shit. Like, that was like my really like, I would just trip out every day, because I'm like, holy shit, I'm in LA. Like, it didn't really register that I lived here yet, but I was fucking in like right away in the hills, like that people sing about. Yeah. Right. So I was like, holy shit, like, this is a trip. And I was in the B studio, so the B studio had the fucking view of the hills. So I was like, damn, like, wow. Then I thought I made it. I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, oh, I'm out of New York. I'm out of crazy, bro. Little did I know, the music industry fucking was wicked, and I learned real quick. Yeah. I got fucked by engineers like 2 fucking times. Ooh. You know who you are, you pieces of shit. I'm gonna pause you only because that was my next question. Okay. Okay. Segue. The man knows what he's doing. I'm telling you guys, if you need somebody to host your event, your things, call me first. Hell yeah. Then call me first. Nah. Hell yeah. But Auntie, what was your first moment where you were like, yo, I'm in LA? Like, I already know the answer probably, but can you tell the people when you realized? Yeah.
Because my very first year of LA, I didn't see LA because I worked every single day. She ain't lying. I had 3 jobs. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
I went through her phone. She ain't lying.
Yep.
Anywho,
Yep.
I was like, go ahead and say it before I continue. I had like 3 jobs, so literally I had 3 jobs, so I didn't see my very first time I was in LA. You had come out here about a year later, and we started recording.
Yeah,
and I just continued to record with you and to go into the next year where I was able to do my first stand up.
Yeah.
My very first stand up I was terrified. I literally almost didn't even go to my audition.
That's a trip.
And
you were stage fright, like you were just scared,
bro. You'd be amazed. She wouldn't even when we were audio only.
I believe it.
I'm rolling my eyes, reminiscing, like, I actually was.
Yeah,
like,
when we were audio only, she wouldn't even talk.
It's a trip, huh?
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. To be on camera and to get recognition.
Honestly, fuck being on camera though. Like getting in front of an audience, kind of stage fright is different. Being on camera is awkward at first, but like going in front of an audience, that feeling you get, you'll never get that.
I swear, and I'll just chop it back with you any other time, cracking jokes,
Yeah.
and then the people. But when we got the first, I mean, honestly, I'm probably gonna say I knew I was in LA when I chose to ditch my partner who wasn't taking the shit seriously.
Oh, your best friend.
My best friend.
Ex-best friend.
Just don't get matching tattoos until you're sober.
I did it with my first
I have
group.
2, yeah.
This is actually a cover up, but it's a fire one, so I'll never forget it.
We fuck with the
Hell
fire.
yeah.
Look,
People be like, this is just the key to my future.
Hey man, listen.
So my 2 time, my moment I knew I was in LA, I guess, to not prolong the status was when I made the decision to not know where I was going to be for media.
Yeah.
Instead of just dealing with somebody because I was financially safe and stable. Like, I would have rather be homeless and have my shit thrown out than deal with your bullshit of not taking this shit seriously. We didn't come here and I don't work 18 hours a day and I'm not saving all this money in my shoebox to be like, I'm not making it. Well, you gotta go outside.
With this shit, I really learned though, it's all or nothing, bro. Like you can't be 1 foot in, like especially at your job, like your mentality has to be like, this is not my job. Like this is my income.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is my life.
Yeah. This is what supports my life, but like this is not my job.
This is supporting my dream.
It's so weird because if you have done it, which all of us have, right? You now realize when they say, even Alex recording this will agree with us, is that you got to 100% sacrifice.
You have
like
to.
Not even 98%, 99%, 100%. Like it all goes to sacrifice. Like I remember, like you just said, like 1 foot in, right? I remember when I was 1 foot in. And I said earlier, guys, like, God literally made a choice for me. He said, no, you getting fired.
Yeah.
Like, no. And it was crazy because, guys, I was so good at that job. And I knew I didn't want to work there, but I knew that I didn't. And this is where I wanted to ask you guys this question. But at the time when I got fired, what I was fearful about is I didn't want to not make it and then be seen as that wannabe podcaster guy, that wannabe comedian guy. Like that scared me. And as you all are agreeing with me on, when you go 100% in, you don't ever have to worry about that fear anymore because you are that podcaster guy. You are that comedian guy. Because guess what? The person talking to you, they aren't.
Absolutely.
Unless they are. But if they aren't, then you are the guy who podcasts in their life. You are the stand-up comedian that stand-up comedians in their life, right? So it's on you. And I know what I'm basically explaining is imposter syndrome. Thank you, Alex. You know you can cut that and edit that part out too. But anyways, no. But thank you, Alex. Imposter syndrome. When you move to LA, you have to learn how to deal with your imposter syndrome. Because in order to become who you are, I'm not saying nothing new, but you have to fake it till you make it. At a certain point, you're no longer faking it because you are making Gunz a real entity. You are making the a real entity.
Here's the trip, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that was actually the hardest part for me, bro. Because I'm just me. You know, it's like you see me, like that's me, bro. Like I'm me on camera, I'm me off camera. So even with the music shit, like I started introducing myself as Gunz to like the music people. But if I didn't directly meet you in the studio, like you weren't my engineer, I was Brendan, you know? So I started to confuse people at the studio because I got a little record deal and they started to like talk about me. And then like the guy came out and I was like, hey, how you doing, Brendan? And he's like, oh, nice to meet you. And then the guy comes out and says, hey, yo, B Gunz. He's like, you're fucking B Gunz? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you should say that, bro. I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I'm just me, you know?
No, bro, trust me.
Yeah, he does that.
I do that all the time. I have to tell people sometimes, like, if you met me and I said a different name than what I said when you met me, or you heard somebody else call me a different name. I'm not being fake with you.
Yeah.
I just don't know what level or where we at.
Absolutely.
You know, to some people I'm keeping.
See, well, thankfully that was super early on for me. So after that, it was just B Gunz. Like, I was like, you know what? I don't want to confuse people. It's B Gunz.
Yeah. Nah.
And it's not like a character thing. It's just like I said, I don't want to confuse people. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, no, it's B Gunz.
What I think it was for me, it was a little bit of a character, but then also just an understanding of like I'd already been burned before with the day job shit of like, like I mixed my. Once
I came into this, that I kind of was like, you know what? Yeah. Thankfully, I was my own boss before, so I'm like, you know what? Well, the podcasting thing, I kind of wasn't so worried about because I'm like, hey, it is what it is. Like, if they find it, they find it. I'm not saying anything crazy anyway. Yeah. But when I started to jump into the weed world, that's when I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Now it's do or die because my face is going to be all over weed. So, like, who knows where this is going to go,
Absolutely.
You know? That's where it was like, now I got to go all in or don't at all.
Absolutely. So, might as well press on with the weed world.
Sure.
Me and the aunt have been smoking weed since bleep years old. So, no need to say the age there. But legally been in this industry for 4 years.
Yeah, out here.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, out here.
I mean, legally.
Again, legally. Shout
outs to the traps in Sacramento.
It's been a doozy. It's had its ups and downs. It's definitely exposed us to a lot more than we can say on camera. But I've had a great time being in this industry. Side note, shameless plug, shout outs to Wafers. Wafers is the brand. It is the entity. Y'all see that thing right there? Yeah, that's Wafers. That's the sun-grown flower over there. Wafers Lights is what they like to call it. You got to smoke that sun-grown because if you don't smoke what comes from the sun, use a bum. Yes, I said it. I'm talking to you. Nah, but yeah, man, the cannabis industry has been fun. I can't use any other word besides fun. I can, but I'm going to choose one.
Eventful.
Yeah, eventful.
Educational.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into the cannabis industry?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's untraditional. I've actually never worked in a shop. I've never done any distro. I've never done anything. I've never even done delivery.
Wow.
Back in the day.
I'm just playing.
You say what?
I said, what privilege? I'm just playing.
No. See, that is a privilege, not going to lie.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like, I was young, I guess so I could say it. I used to push back in the day, in New York. It was never legal there. So, like,
sheesh.
This whole world is different to me. So that reason being, to me, it felt far-fetched. It almost felt impossible.
Yeah.
I like thinking about it back in New York, like I would see like huge brands and I'm like, holy shit, like that's Walmart, you know? And then now I'm meeting these people and the people behind it and then I'm like, they're just like fucking me. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest trip for me. But always being around it and being intrigued by it, like just the way the industry worked. Like I actually never went to an event out here before I got into the industry, but I did check out like some smoke sessions, I guess you could say, in New York when I was back home, just because like it was so brand new. I was like, oh, let me go check this out.
Yeah.
The events always did intrigue me out here, but I kind of didn't like pull the trigger just because I was always so fucking busy, doing what we just talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always like, I would love to get out to an event, but it was always like a Friday night. And like, those are the best money nights for Uber. So it's like, no way I'm about to go to this weed event, like no offense to the weed events. I love them now. I love that I'll be able to get to them now.
Yeah.
But it was a journey, so, shout out to 395 Exotics because,
shout out to 395 Exotics. Hey, if you know, you know.
They were doing stash and dashes every Friday and it came across my Instagram and I had just moved to Hollywood. So I saw across my shit that they were in Hollywood. So I was like, oh shit, let me go participate. So this was like the first time, like this was something I could do, because I'm doing Uber. This is on a Friday at 5:20. Every Friday they would drop it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. 5 o'clock, I'll take a break and I'll go participate in this shit. So I went. And I looked for the first time 2 minutes after it was posted, shit was gone. So I kind of thought it was a scam, bro. I'm like, damn, bro, these guys are just getting people all excited and shit. And like, they're not even putting anything there. Yeah. So I DM'd them. I'm like, damn, bro. 2 minutes later, that shit was gone. They're like, wow, that's crazy. So I was like, all right. you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll keep following them and like see where they're at. So a couple weeks go by and it showed up that they're going to be in North Hollywood. So I'm like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'll try again. So I went, and this time I actually found something. At this point, they were still hiding like product. So I found an 8th and I'm like, yo, this is fucking lit, you know? So I hit him up, like post them. I'm like, yo, good looks, appreciate it. And that was actually the first time I got flagged for marijuana on my Instagram too. So funny enough.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake, be Gunz.
Right? Just trying to show love, man. And then, so that's when like I kind of realized it was a real thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. So now like they had credibility in my eyes, you know, they did what they said they were doing. The shit's real. The shit's cool. You know, it's fun. I get to participate. So I started like to tell like people about it. I'm like, oh, you should check this out, you know, blah, 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 follow this page. So now like I saw what they were doing when they were hiding the product still. So I was like, damn, bro, like if only they go to a town that I know, like I could come up on like a quarter, a half ounce, whatever, you know, find all the 8s. Yeah. Selfish thinking at the time, but you know, like, hey man, it was tough times, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, gotta get that money.
Yeah. So we're out there and finally they're going to Santa Clarita. It was like a couple months later. So I'm like, yo, we're in there. So I go to meet them there. 5:20, like I said, they would post religiously. And this 5:20, I'm on my way up there and it's nothing. So I'm like, oh shit, like, is it my connection? Is it their connection? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So 5:25 comes, 5:30. I'm like, all right, let me hit them up. Like, see what the fuck is up. So I hit them up. I'm like, yo, like, is it me? Is it you? Like, what's going on? They're like, oh, sorry. Like, our connection it's not working right now. So just come to this address. I'm like, all right, cool. So I pull up and oddly enough, it was right around the corner from where I used to live in Santa Clarita. So I'm like, what a fucking ironic thing. And then I pop out and the first person I see is my boy Gus. And he's like, are you the guy from Instagram? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, here's 10 grams. I'm like, oh shit. Like, good looks. Appreciate that. Perfect. So now I'm like, what's going on though? Like, what's happening? He's like, oh, we don't have service. We're in the mountains. Obviously, if you know where Santa Clarita is, it kind of is tucked away in the mountains. Yes. So they did have no service. Yeah, shout out to Santa Clarita, beautiful place. I actually did enjoy living there for those 2 years. So then I threw my hotspot on and their shit started uploading and he's like, you can't go anywhere. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, don't worry. Like, you just gave me 10 grams, bro. Like, I'm set. I don't need to go anywhere. Yeah. So now we just sit there, we start chopping it up. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I moved out here from New York. I make music. I have a podcast. And like, when I said podcast, their eyes lit up. And he's like, oh, why don't you talk to this guy? And it was my boy, Aaron. Yeah. So I started talking to them. And he's like, yeah, bro, like we were thinking about doing a podcast, you know, Green Rush Nation, because they were doing the events. I think you were going to the events. Yeah. They were doing it on the 17th.
Every month on the 17th, baby. Rosita, pull up.
Shout out to that. Shout out.
If
so
you know,
we don't do it anymore. So yeah, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
But so then they're like, oh, why don't you come by the office right there in Reseda and show us like what you could do, you know? And so here's the trip. So bringing this back to like a little bit from what we were talking about before, podcasting was like the side thing for me. So like music was my main shit. Podcasting was like the thing that I was dabbling in more like a hobby. But I took it very serious. So I started investing in the equipment. You know, I was watching all these podcasts. I'm like, all right, what do they use? So I'm like, all right, I need to get a Rodecaster. I need to get the fucking Shure microphones. I need to get the Rode stands, whatever it is. Like whatever the professional's using, I need. So I invested in, got the camera, lights, audio equipment. And then I didn't realize that I had picked up a skill and taught myself how to use that shit. Now I have all this equipment. So I'm like, damn, now I live in LA. Everyone has a podcast. So I started a company called Mobile Pod. Our slogan was anywhere, anytime, because everything is in a fucking suitcase. I pull up on you, boom, we could shoot anywhere, anytime, even if it's in the middle of the desert. So that's what we did. And we ran it for a little while. And so that's how I pulled up on them. I pulled up on them as they were going to be a client for my Mobile Pod. Thinking they had a host and everything. They already had the idea for the podcast already. So I'm like, oh, they're ready to go. You know, they just need me, the missing piece, and we'll get them filming and that's it. Like not thinking I was going to host it. So I pull up on them, pull out all the equipment, lights, showed them what I can do. And they're like, wow, like this is legit. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like I do this shit.
Talk your shit.
Then they're like, all right, yeah, let's run it. And I'm like, great. Like, you guys have anyone in mind, like for a host? And they're like, you sound like you'd be a great candidate. And I'm like, shit. So like, yeah, they're like, all right, yeah, we're going to interview these guys. I was like, shit, like, all right, yeah, like, let's run it. You know, like I'm down. So I was honest with them off rip though. I'm like, yo, listen. So the team is Vetty, Steven, Gus, Aaron,
Mhm.
and my boy Riggs. He
Mhm.
shoots all the shit.
Mhm.
So I was real with them. I was like, yo, listen, I could do this all for you by myself. I was like, but just know, like, it's going to take time, you know? So I'm going to have to do this. Then I had to edit. So I'm going to have to concentrate. I was like, so if you wanted to go smooth, I was like, we get someone to do the camera work and stuff like that. And I don't have to worry about editing. Then I can worry about hosting and we can worry about really building some shit here. And they were down. So they're like, yeah, let's fucking do it. So I hit up my boy Riggs and that was it. We got recording in like November. So right around then it was perfect timing. So like everything happens perfect timing. I was on the Kai Cenat stream, like legitimately like a week or two after I linked up with these guys.
Okay.
So the day before I found out I was going to be on the Kai Cenat stream, I'm like, holy shit, bro. Because like, you know, you get casted for some shit and you're like, oh, whatever, oh, you're going to be on a stream. You're like, oh, whatever, cool. Who's it?
Yeah.
And he's like, Kai Cenat. I'm like, no fucking way, bro.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
holy shit. So I told these guys, I'm like, hey, listen, like, I don't know what this means to you, but like, I'm about to be on this stream.
Yeah.
And if you want to press up a shirt real quick, like it might be in your best interest, you know? So that was it. That day, boom, went downtown, fucking logos, 395, Green Rush Nation, already done. So I had my podcast on there too, my Gunz logo on the arm. Boom. And then I pressed it up. It was ready for the next day. We were on the Kai Cenat stream. It's a great look. Now that lives in history forever.
Right.
So it was perfect place, perfect time. We launch in January. I told them, yo, let's not rush this. Let's not compete with the people that have already planned to put their podcast out at the end of December. Let's do it right.
Smart man.
So I told them first week January, whenever that is, pick a day. First day in January that lands on, we'll launch. So it was Tuesday. I believe it was January 7th was our first launch date. That was it. We did it. We launched it. And that was it. Ever since then, it was Tuesday, 6 p.m. every week.
That's
yeah.
That's
so now we're 9, almost 10 months in here. So it's pretty wild.
Bro. And you know what? Not to lie, bro. Like, I feel like connected to that story because we were there when 395
exactly
were doing it.
Exactly.
And it was funny was, I'm not gonna lie, bro. We were stalking you.
I appreciate that.
I remember when you came on the scene with them, about, like you said, about 9 months ago. It had to be like a year ago.
Yeah.
I had just started finishing up my events with them. And I was like, oh, they got like a spokesperson now. And then I was like, oh, okay, this dude that wears that green hat. That's what's up.
And you know what's funny? It wasn't even this hat at first.
Was it?
It was just another hat that shout out to my girl at Twisted Culture LA. She had hooked me up with a bunch of hats and one of them was this color.
Oh.
And I loved it. So man, you know, I had to just run with it.
It just connected. And like I said, I saw your one-off reels and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, this is a guy that gets it. And it's so funny because like not only is that story connected because we were there, is it's also connected because like we have our own situation and similarity. When I said what privilege, I wasn't trying to dish you.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, of course.
What I really much was just trying to say was like, bro, that's such a beauty that you got to dodge that sector.
What a privilege.
Yeah, like, what a privilege. That's what I meant. But to piggyback off of your story, my beautiful wife here kind of saw a similar thing of like, you already knew what you kind of wanted to do with the podcast and things, so you had in the tuck.
Yeah.
You didn't know that was going to take you a little bit far. I'm not going to bust my wife out on what she does for outside of her job, but for those who know, she has gone to a bunch of houses.
I'm a consultant.
In doing these consulting walks, she sees nasty ass houses all the time. And she likes to clean.
Yeah.
And so one day she came to me and said, I'm going to start a cleaning business. Now, I'm not a dirty individual, but I ain't that damn passionate about cleaning as she is. So I told her straight up, do what makes your heart beat.
That's it.
And to your point of having your podcast and shit on tuck, to her wanting to clean, to me already, I used to actually, similar to you, I used to walk around with a traveling mic. It was like just one that like click to your phone and then you could do all that, right? And like you said, like I could record anywhere.
That's it.
And that's what I think kind of piggybacks around to like making it. You're never going to not making it you're never not going to make it if you continue to do something you're passionate about. I can't lose because I'm passionate about this. There are plenty of people who are better at this than me.
Of course.
But that doesn't fucking matter to me because I'm fucking passionate about this. And so one or two things are going to happen. I'm going to one day be just as good as them, and that's going to be cool. Or I'm not. Hey, man, it really doesn't matter because, again, I'm passionate about this. And this is what I love to do. So I know I'm going to reach a pinnacle of something.
Absolutely.
I think what's even doper is like you did not know that this was going to pan out like
No
that.
clue.
Like again,
Had no idea marijuana would be the catalyst,
Bro.
is what I'm saying. You know
Bro.
what I'm saying?
bro. Listen, tell me about it. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I have 2 college degrees. I graduated from the University of California, Davis, UC Davis to be exact. That's called, thank you. On paper, it's called a public Ivy League institution.
Okay.
And I love to tell people all that means is I spent a lot of money to put myself in college debt. That's all.
Okay.
Honestly, I used to think that my college degree meant nothing because I wasn't doing anything in my field. But when I realized kind of like how you kept a mic with you because you were a musician, I kept this ability to keep organization, administration, callback,
Yeah.
background, managerial skills. Oh shit, this is my history degree.
Yeah.
I never thought this motherfucker would help me in marijuana, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never one time was sitting up at UC Davis and was like, man, when I graduate from here, I'm gonna sell so many packs and so many pounds,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go to those stores. And
Yeah.
I didn't think that shit.
Literally.
Well, trip out, bro. I'm super mega qualified. Like, I have done it all. I've managed ski shops. Like, literally, I've done managerial, sales, owned a business. Like, my resume is vast.
Mhm,
And I tried to, like, work in the cannabis, even as a bud tender.
mhm.
Yeah.
No callbacks. I was
So-
like, what the fuck?
I had to go back. I had to go back and become a bud tender.
Yeah. I
But
tried.
It was because, and I was fortunate enough. Shout out to my girl Val, because of being a brand ambassador for a year, they were hiring, and obviously, you need 12 jobs. So I interviewed and got the job.
Yep, there
and
you
then
go.
moved up because I have the manager background of being operational.
Yeah.
I got a whole medical billing degree, and I don't even do medical billing
Crazy.
anymore. But it taught me my operational skills to take over a store in 4 months or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
No.
And that's the thing. I didn't know anybody in the industry
It's
at
hard.
all.
Well,
It
that
took the time.
kind of leads me to my last point, which is actually the listener letter we had kind of piggybacks on that. We'll get into in a second.
Okay.
But that's why I love the cannabis industry. B Gunz, Amanda, myself, we are all 3 different people from 3 different walks of life.
Yeah.
B Gunz, no disrespect. I'm sure you're a white man. Nothing wrong with
I
that.
think so.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm a black
You
man.
have to be white.
You're a biracial woman. But the whole point of me bringing that up is that the privilege of our skin or of our backgrounds or of our education had nothing to do with us getting our foot into the
Nope.
cannabis industry. You said it. You said, bro, I was super qualified to do
Yeah.
this, and nobody would give me a fucking job.
Yep.
I was overly qualified myself.
Yeah.
And the only job I could get at one point was a delivery job.
Great. I couldn't even get that shit, bro.
Whoa,
I
you know-
tried. And I was super qualified for that.
They were scared you was gonna take their business.
Nah, it was what it was is that just like you said, for me, it was a pandemic. That was the only reason why I fell into it.
Yeah.
But I can assure you, if that didn't happen, I was looking for little knick-knack jobs. And when they would see on my resume, you have a degree from UC Davis, especially in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Because Davis is just a quintessential part of Sacramento.
Okay.
When they would see that, they would be like, oh, well, you're more qualified than me. You don't need this T-Mobile job. And I'm like, yes, bitch, yes, I do. I do
Yeah.
need this T-Mobile job. I need this.
Yeah.
But when the pandemic came and I was able to get my first delivery job, and I then had to spend 2 to 3 years in the dispensaries working the fucking shelving work. I mean, where you said you didn't do any of that, which I'm not hating. I'm
Yeah.
glad you didn't.
Yeah.
I did all of it, and I can say it was humbling.
Yeah.
To every time I stocked the shelf or had to put a label on something,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, damn, son, I got a college degree and I'm working a retail job. But I
Trust.
tell you what, it was definitely rewarding. I've said this before, but I got my start at a shop called Atrium in Woodland Hills.
Okay.
Shout outs to them, shout outs to Ty. That location taught me so much about humility because we didn't just have customers come in, we had celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, people like who were hot from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever decade
Yeah.
you could think of. They came in. And that really was my eye opener because I said, hey, yo, if that music composer from my grandmama's day is coming here buying weed, if that one entertainer from like the 2000s
Yeah.
who's still kind of relevant comes here buying weeds, that tells me a lot of people smoke weed.
Fuck yeah.
That also tells me there's a lot of doors that I can walk through if I want to stay in this to get a job.
Yeah.
And as I said on your show, when it comes out, Riggs, no, I'm not saying,
Not his fault.
No, I'm just giving Riggs a hard time. But no, as I said on your guys' show, I happily said it, that working with the brand that I work with and doing you guys' podcast is a dream come true because I get to do what I love to do and smoke weed at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is talk shit and connect with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, that was my college degree didn't give me that, y'all. Your ability to make music didn't get you that, y'all.
Yeah.
Your looks didn't get you that. You had to, it just had to be all about timing.
That's it.
It had to be about timing.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up this listener letter.
Yeah,
Do it.
let's see what this week. 'Cause
Uh-oh.
last week blew my edges back.
Blew your
I was
edges
like,
back.
what is going on?
Should I light a joint for this one?
Yes,
Yeah,
please
maybe.
go ahead.
All right.
Because I don't know this again to this week. I have no idea. Last week, I had no idea either. They was laughing at my face. So
How much time we got left?
we
What
got,
that say? 50? 51?
I got my
All right,
bifocals
cool,
on and I
cool.
still can't see.
All right. Well, I actually got two. One's a shorter letter and the second one's a little bit longer of a letter.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and run this up. This is coming from a white man named Toby.
Is that like his name on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's funny. as
Yeah,
hell.
we do invite all nicknames, what you
All
want to be
nicknames.
called, all
Yes.
of that.
We are inclusive and non-exclusive and exclusive at the same time. But I think it's the weed talking. Anyways, a white man named Toby says, "Hello, auntie and uncle. Thank you guys for being so fucking funny and so fucking real. I just have one quick question." So, a white man named Toby wants to know, how do you get a job in the cannabis industry without getting half naked?
Oh.
I have been trying to get a job at a lot of these cannabis jobs, but I feel like they only employ half naked women. Am I tripping? Or is that a thing, Unc? Sorry, auntie. Didn't mean to be rude. Signed, a white man named Toby.
Toby.
So I'm gonna tell you, white man named Toby. That's a great name, by the way. As we just spent all this time talking on this podcast, you don't just get a job in the cannabis industry. You kind of fall into it, bro. I can't tell you nothing more than that. My people will say more.
Honestly, yeah. What I'll say is, bro, get to the events.
Yeah.
Go out, get where the industry is, and meet people in the industry. That's probably your best move,
It's
honestly.
not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
Like I said, I mean, I can excitingly say that I've been with the same company for the last 3 years and I have not got naked. So shout outs to me. Just kidding. No, but for real, I definitely was overlooked a little bit for not getting naked, but you gotta stand your ground.
Thank God no one ever asked me to get naked.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you still young?
Yeah.
There's still time, B
You
Guns.
still got time.
You never
Fucking
know how bad you want it. I'm just playing.
I agree with B Guns. You have to keep going, and especially as a male who is not, there looking for a naked woman. You're actually looking for opportunities. You have to just keep going. Don't stop. If he wouldn't have stopped looking for that free gram or that free eighth, then he wouldn't have even been rocking it.
See, my point there was just basically to connect.
Yeah,
you know,
consistency. Yeah.
just to connect with the industry. I didn't know how to get in. I didn't know who was in. These guys are doing stash and edge. Let me see what the fuck's going on here.
Right,
You know,
right.
so it's cool. It's
Don't
cool.
give up, white man Toby.
Keep your eye out. There's hope.
You've got to.
White man named Toby.
White
Thank you for
man
that.
named Toby.
All right, we got a couple more minutes left. B Guns is already smoking on one. You might want to hit this because this person kind of asked us a silly question, but they really want our advice and they really need our advice. So this next question comes here from a young man named Randy's Candies. I don't think that's your real name, but thank you, Randy's Candies. Randy's Candies is in a little bit of predicament, y'all.
Let's hear it.
All right, so we're gonna let it off. Dear auntie and uncle, hello.
Don't read it.
I'm so sorry for what I'm about to ask you, but I need some advice. Just last week, I went out drinking with some of my homies and got a little too tipsy. I haven't drinking all this year as I've been on my best behavior, but I said, fuck it. Crawford won the fight. I'm going to drink some. Crawford did win the fight. So I get it. Unfortunately for me, when I get tipsy, I like to send pictures.
Oh, okay.
This is usually not a problem because I usually have somebody to send pictures to. My issue is I made a mistake. One of the people I send my pictures to and my supervisor have the same name.
Oh.
Because I was tipsy, I accidentally sent a picture to my supervisor. This was last week. It says sent and received, but they haven't said anything to me yet. Do you think I should say something to my supervisor or just let it rock?
Now I have a serious question.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Was it actually an accident?
Ah.
Oh,
I was drunk.
Gunz got you, Randy Candy.
Liquid courage.
Now she didn't answer, so you're like, oh fuck.
Y'all see,
I think
now
I
you
fucked
got
up.
the right back, Randy Candies. I'm gonna keep G real with you. If ain't nobody said nothing, just keep it playing.
I mean, hello.
Let it rock.
Next time you see her, just wink.
Yeah. Well,
Let's see what happens.
unless you want to go to HR, but
Right.
yeah.
Nah,
Right.
just wink. And if she says, what the fuck are you winking at? She might have no idea what's going on. She's like, sorry, I had something in
Something
my
in
eye.
my eye. I was about to say.
And then if you wink and she winks back, you're in business. If you wink and she closes the door, you might just want to look for another job. I don't know.
if she winks, you're back in business. I don't know. I trust no one now because I watched 6 seasons of The Sopranos in a month or 2 months.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now I'm like, no, they're setting you up and she's gonna pull you in. You're gonna get fired.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
you're about to have a great time.
Or
Yeah,
you're
you about to have a great time.
He's like, let's or.
I'm with B Gunz on this. I actually don't think you did it on accident. I think you did it on for show, and now you scared. But if that was an accident, like I said, let it rock. I do think, if you really want to shoot your shot,
I doubt it was an accident,
I
bro.
doubt
What
it
are the
was,
fucking
too.
odds? Oh, I'm talking to Trisha. Oh my God, my supervisor,
didn't-
Trisha.
Right, you didn't name.
And you
like-
have the same name, like it doesn't say Trisha supervisor or Trisha
I mean, in
Costco.
2025,
wherever the fuck you work.
Yeah, Costco. I think in 2025 we all put like emojis next to like if you have like. I don't have multiple B Gunz in my phone, but if I
hope
had
not.
multiple B Gunz, I would be like B Gunz from Boston, B Gunz
Yeah,
from New York.
exactly,
Like
exactly.
that's how I would do it. But I think that you really wanted to
If
see
you
what
do
was
meet
up.
another B Gunzo, let me know.
Okay, I will.
Right, we got
I would
one.
like to meet them.
But I think it would be in your best interest to probably, unless you want to get a new job, just let it rock, bro. Let it rock. This is not the time
Let it
in the
ride.
economy
Okay.
to
Or
be
the
losing
year.
or the year.
It's 2025.
To be losing your damn job. Do you hear me? All right, it is not the time. So I'm taking my glasses off so you know I'm serious.
Yeah.
Don't lose your job. Don't be writing me back talking about Unc said shoot your shot. No.
Because you can't borrow no money over here.
We ain't
okay?
got none.
Yep.
We ain't got shit for you.
Yep.
Randy's candies.
All right,
Okay.
Randy's candies.
All right, man.
All right.
Before we get up out of here, B Gunz, you got anything coming up you want to tell the people about or where they can find you, bro?
Yeah, so definitely working on a lot more music. So gonna have a lot more music coming out in the next few months. So definitely keep an eye on that. Events always. So if there's an event going on, you might see me there, or we might be having an event. So keep an eye out on that. And last thing I will say, just because I don't get on a lot of podcasts, I appreciate you guys for having me on. And this is like the first one that I've been on other than mine. So shout out to y'all.
Hey, man.
Um, It's an honor. It's an honor.
Oh, man.
honor.
Listen.
But that being said, I don't get to really talk like this a lot. I'm always the hey host, you know.
Yes.
So one thing I will say is even when I was an Uber driver and shit, when I first got out here, bro, whoever sat in my back seat, it was I'm an artist and I'm a podcaster. I'm an artist and I'm a podcaster. Never was I just an Uber driver.
Yeah.
So in that sense, always just see where you want to be,
Yeah.
and then eventually you'll get there. But always you have to put the work in, of course. That's it, man. That's all I got to say on that. But you can find me online, bgunsmc on Instagram, bguns.mc. That's my personal. And you can find us on all socials, Green Rush Nation. Check out the podcast every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Don't miss it.
Motherfucking B
That's a
Gunz.
host right there.
That motherfucker B Gunz is preaching.
That's a host.
Appreciate you.
That boy good. That
He
boy-
good. He
that boy
good. He good.
Sweetheart, do you have anything?
All right.
You have some stuff coming up. Tell the people about it.
Yes, shout outs to y'all. You already know, follow the Aunt Amanda B. We do have the aunt and the uncle are hosting the Project Sister Dope comedy show, Comedy for a Cause, on October 5th.
Okay.
All proceeds for tickets go to the Sister Dope Fund. Okay, help a cannabis worker in need.
Yeah.
And then we have the Paint and Puff on October 18th with the Night Shift Gals. We're going to have a spooky treats, goodie bags. Come out.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. The Nightmare on Canvas Street.
Nightmare on Canvas Street.
love
We're
it.
smoking.
I'm
we're-
excited for spooky season. I'm
Yes,
excited.
it's spooky, you know?
Spooky.
First
And my
spooky season in the
birthday.
weed industry.
Man.
Hey, happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Once it's October 1st, it's my birthday all month. Because
That's
it's
it.
October 29th.
That's
It's
it.
just a Scorpio thing. It's a Scorpio thing. Yeah, man. Again, thank you so very much for being on the podcast.
I appreciate
bro.
you. I appreciate
Like
you.
I said, it has been an honor to see you as a person that's on Instagram, to being able to rub shoulders with you,
For
to
sure.
actually being able to dap you up and know your fucking name.
And
Life's a
shock
trip,
you.
huh?
Yeah,
Life's a
life-
We'd be like, that's him.
yeah, that's him. That's him.
That being said,
Yeah.
though, real quick before you wrap up,
Yeah.
it ain't all you see on the internet, bro. So don't believe what you see. Go talk to the people and get to know them because,
Yes.
yeah, it ain't all what you think it is. You know,
They'll be on your show.
that's
Yeah.
it. You never
Yeah,
know.
no, I mean, to make that last point, I do know that was a huge pillar for me to get over. Like, you know, like before you even admitted to like not being on other people's podcasts,
Yeah.
I would have never known that. You see, I would have thought that, oh man, he does this all the time.
Hey, man, being I guess the host, you don't get invited a lot. You know,
No, no, you don't. I mean, I had that same issue. That was why I
Exactly.
was so pressing on being on your show.
uh huh.
But to big up on what you said, like, bro, like put yourself out there, do it respectfully. Just try, bro. Like B Gunz is saying, it's not always what it seems to be. I know things look really good, and they are really good, and they are nice, and we try to make them look nice, but also understand that you never know, bro. You could be the missing link.
That's
hey, bro.
it. That's it.
Michael didn't win 1-2. You got Scotty. So,
Yeah.
hey, you could be the Scotty.
could.
You know, you don't want to be Scotty now. You want to be Scotty back then. So, you know, but anyways, we're going to get up out of here. Thank y'all.
Thank you for
Appreciate
being
you.
here
You know.
It was a great time.
Great time.
What a great time.
Everybody's
Shout
talking all
No,
this
this
stuff
stuff- hold on,
about
let
me.
me-
Why don't it just let me live?
Shout out.